Come on in, all you beautiful ladies, gentlemen, Gungans, George Academy, the Conants, and all you big Sith bald lords out there who like to do their leg day jumps. Welcome to today's video where I told you we got our feelers out there 25/8 for when this finally dropped. We have the long-awaited Malgus Ben Solo Lightspeed bundle. Clap it up, baby. But on top of that, there's a lot of drama for all the Galaxy Heroes mamas out there. Over the past couple days, and we had Lightspeed tokens brewing. I don't know. It looks like there was like a Reddit boycott that was cooking up in the kitchen. So we got to talk about these LSTs with the LSBs. Hopefully YouTube doesn't think we're like promoting illicit behavior on her, because those sound like some bad things. You want some LSBs, kid? How about an LST? Wait, hold on, wait. Yay! People, is that we have an important yeet alert? Well, Garrett Patchison, what's the problem? Another multiversal catastrophe's heading our way. We need new recruits. Don't worry, I'm on the job. We need to hop into Marvel Strikeforce. Now listen up. Big thank you to Marvel Strikeforce for sponsoring today's video. We need your help. There's a link down below. QR code right up there. Download Marvel Strikeforce. Take advantage of the big events going on right now, because we need you to start building your favorite Marvel heroes and villains. As a lot of you guys know, I've spent a ton of time in the Marvel Strikeforce universe on my own account, over 1,600 days. And they have amazing new promo codes for people to redeem. MSF4. You will be getting for free the entire Fantastic Four team immediately. This promo code is going to be available until September 30th, 2025, and even my existing account was able to redeem this. So if you haven't picked up Marvel Strikeforce for a while, maybe hop in, get these free shards. You can then use them to unlock the new multiversal variants of Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic. New players within their first 30 days will unlock up to 17 total characters for free. Spider-Man, Thor, Captain America, and more. So what are you waiting for, Commander? Grab your device. Use the link down below. Scan the QR code. Download Marvel Strikeforce now for free, because the multiverse and its fate rests in the palm of your hand. Thank you, Gary. That was really important. Hopefully you guys can help out in the multiversal realm over there. But we got to talk about this realm of gaming before we talk about the LSTs. We need to talk about the LSBs. So a while ago, we had a data mine, and everyone's been at the edge of their seat. They're like, when is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? Well, today, we got to give a special shout out. This person right here, about an hour or so ago, Ben Adams 63004. Bro, I need these to come out. I was waiting with my open wallet and it's not in the store. Well, instead of using one of these pre-made YouTube comments that they give me, I could tell you right now, hold on. Your wish has come true. In the web store now. All right, there you go. Ben's dreams has come true. However, I'm not seeing it in game for me. Where it's showing up, and hopefully it does show up in game, because if you're not on the web store, well, first off, you're missing on the most important content, probably more important than Grand Arena Territories, everything combined, Kessel Run Rewards, of course. But this is my free-to-play account logged into the web store, and as you can see, both Ben and Malgus are available for pretty much what we expected. This is in line with, I believe, the Commander Sokatana bundle. $40 hairs, baby. Giving you a 7-star Malgus at Relic 5. Likewise, for the beautiful Ben Solo, $40, Relic 5, all that good stuff. Should you buy this bundle? Well, of course, $40 is going to be very relative to people, depending on, obviously your real life situation, and more importantly, your in-game situation on top. You might have $40 to spare, but is it worth it for your account? I mean, here's the dealio. If you're someone that's newer to the game and you are nowhere in sight of Conquest, Proving Grounds, you need 4 million GP just to be a resident of the Proving Grounds world, and then you gotta wait months upon months upon months. You get 20 shards per rotation. I mean, here, do you need to do some math? Pull it up, 330 shards, divide that by 20 per rotation. You're basically waiting a year and a half-ish before you can get a 7-star Malgus And that's assuming you got the 4 million GP. And that's assuming you can actually do the Malgus Proving Ground. And that's one of the more difficult battles. I wasn't able to 3-star on my free-to-play account until I finally got Bane. I was still beating it, but not 3-starring it. So there are a lot of hoops before you can get to this stage. But if you're someone that already has Proving Grounds unlocked, you're already midway through. Again, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. It's your money. You do what you want. If I was in that situation, I'd be like, I can wait a few more. But if you're like a year plus, and then you got to consider on top of, besides the time value of all this, and we're going to talk about time value when we get to the LSTs. When you consider all the Kyrotech that Malgus needs, of course. This is the beauty about CG. Anyone can go in here and they can do a quick calculation on the Kyrotech, and you can be like, wow, this is going to be way worth it, right? I mean, look at it. $10 gets you 50 Kyrotech. Well, you need a lot more than just 50 Kyrotech to get Malgus up running. So just from a Kyrotech valuation alone, and of course the relic valuation, and then of course when you throw on the time aspect, which is the big premium, if you're someone that's newer to the game, yeah, I could see a lot of people wanting to pick this up. Even I guess, I suppose if you're even newer to the Proving Ground cycle, if you can skip a year and a half, that's where they get you here. That's where they get you. Now, I think Malgus is going to be the better one. Now, keep in mind, it's not going to... I was wishing and hoping this would help you beeline to Leviathan. Unfortunately, you still need, more importantly so, the Fury class interceptor if you wanted to get Leviathan. So it's not like you're really speeding up the process much for Leviathan. You still gotta get the Fury class interceptor, which, same thing, gonna take you 16.5 months. Oh, gosh, it's crazy how long it takes to unlock stuff in this game. I mean, I still barely got my 7-star Executor on my free-to-play account, and that took me like 2 years or something like that. I can't remember the exact time. I literally was able to have a whole baby human grow faster than that. Something's wrong with that philosophy if it takes you that many years in a game to get just like one thing. But a whole different conversation. Ben Solo, I would not recommend getting it unless you're like, you have Ray and you need to... take advantage of the team, because Ray without Ben, you're not looking good. And then if you have Ray, Ezra, and no Ben, it's a no-brainer at that point. But I think if you only can pick one, Malgus is the one to go. He's at least way more usable. Even if you're not going to have Leviathan right away, if you can get Malgus and Revan immediately, that's a killer early game team right there. Or let's say you somehow have Fury class interceptor, but not Malgus. I'm not sure how that would work out. Yeah, so it's a premium. They charge a big, hefty cost for those Conquest units. But to each their own on what they want to do with it. I do miss the cheaper Lightspeed bundles. And on that note, let's talk about those cheaper Lightspeed bundles, i.e., oh, they're cheap, but they're not cheap. Lightspeed tokens. Now, I haven't bought any of these yet, except I guess technically the Conquest Pass, the Episode Pass gives you, one of these, I was thinking this one right here. Yeah, this one I think right there. Beyond that, I had no incentive to buy it, and it seems like there's a bit of a hubbub going on these Lightspeed tokens. Sort of like, I guess like a mini boycott in a way over on the Reddit world. Now, here's the thing. Reddit, same thing of YouTube, even Discord, it's a small segment of the larger population for Galaxy Heroes. I think there's like 300,000, daily active users or something like that when you just go based off Grand Arena numbers. Reddit's gonna be a small portion, YouTube, Discord, whatnot, and I can't imagine doing this. There's a vast amount of people out there that play Galaxy Heroes, but they don't do anything. Boy, what a peaceful life. That must be not going on Reddit, Discord, YouTube, and all that stuff. But here's a poster, and it got a pretty, for Galaxy Heroes, that's a pretty decent amount of traction. And I get the sense of where they're coming from. I'm going to provide an alternate universe in a moment, but it is totally CG testing if they can give us less value than LSBs for near the same price range. Seeing if we all pay near the same value for only one hero. The token value is terrible when compared to LSB, and this is when I'll take us down an alternate universe potentially through the 25.8 technology we have, aside from possibly a few heroes being an exception to that. Do not let CG phase out LSBs in favor of tokens. Please do not buy the tokens. Now, I'm speaking from personal history. Once upon a time, there was this feature that came out the Galaxy of Heroes called Datacrons. And what's funny enough? At first, there was actually kind of a unified front among all the whale cracking guilds, the primary target for these Datacrons. It's like, holy cow, something actually might be done. But then it only took one person to start the prisoner's dilemma scenario. One guild started getting Datacrons, and the other guild's like, wait a second, wait, we're being put at a disadvantage. And they start doing it, and all of a sudden the dominoes start to fall from there. It was one of the few times I thought, hey, actually something could get pushed back and some change could happen. unless you truly get everyone on board, getting a change as substantial is going to be extremely difficult. If people couldn't do it for Datacrons or the Grand Arena matchmaking changes, I don't see this really getting the traction to stop it, especially because we're already seeing history play out. You know, since LSBs and LSTs are kind of similar to some illicit things out there, once you get hooked on them, they gave you the little hit. Ooh, you can't get off it. Remember, once upon a time, too, this is a similar story with the First Order. What was it, $10, $15 Lightspeed bundles? And ever since then, we kind of go farther and farther and farther and farther and farther away from what the original Lightspeed bundles were, because they got you that initial hit, and they're like, hey, how about just a few bucks more? Okay, you still like them? Okay. Yeah, because look, you know, all these YouTubers and Reddit posts, they're doing these spreadsheets. Wow, look at all, $5 million of value. Oh, yeah. And then they start pushing it. Now we're in the $50 territory, $40 for one character. And they're still selling. I can imagine maybe not as many as the Kylo Ren, Rey Lightspeed bundles, but we've seen it in that regard. And the Lightspeed tokens are sort of just the natural next step from that, I guess, drifting away from the original Lightspeed bundles. Now, this is where I want to take you on an alternate universe, because what Sir Spad is saying, they are 100% right. That the value of the Lightspeed tokens, it's a spit in the face compared to the Lightspeed bundles. There is no arguing about that. Only thing I can present is that in an alternate universe where, let's say, Lightspeed bundles were snapped from the timeline, or they just never exist on another universe, I promise you, people would be going crazier over Lightspeed tokens. Plain and simple, if the Lightspeed bundles didn't exist. Because again, if anybody does the simple in-game analysis of just doing, hey, look at the Kyrotech, it costs what? It costs what? That's what, $20, $30, $40 of Kyrotech just to get him up and running. This gets me the stars and the gear and the Kyrotech right away. Same deal. These $10 Lightspeed tokens, $15 Lightspeed tokens, whatever the highest one was, it would still kind of math out where it was still valuable if you just go based on the simple in-game economy, this fictitious economy that we play. And the other thing that this does, and I think this is what they're going to be doing, especially since they made a permanent tab in-game, I have a feeling they're going to make these more frequent. What is one of the biggest problems with Lightspeed bundles? Well, we get questions like this over and over again. Lightspeed bundle when? Lightspeed bundle when? Because they show up so sporadically. There's not a set schedule. These, I have a feeling, since especially now they're in the episode passes, that they're going to make a monthly occurrence, maybe even more than that potentially. I think there's still more ways they're going to be exploring how these Lightspeed tokens come into the game. So basically, they're going to have a greater frequency. So that means they kind of tapped into our FOMO already over all these Lightspeeds that people miss. I know you guys out there. How many of you guys skipped the Night Sister Lightspeed bundle? Great Mothership. You're like, gosh, shoot, I'm not going to skip any more Lightspeed bundles. Well, now they're kind of diving into that with this, where they're trying to make sure they kind of provide you all this after you've been FOMO'd out of your mind over the past couple years. The other thing, too, that's different than Lightspeed bundles, again, I'm thinking how they're thinking right now. This gives you flexibility to apply, well, minus the tank Lightspeed token, which for whatever reason wouldn't let you apply to Morgan Elsbeth. Funny how that works out, huh? Yeah, funny how that kind of plays out there. But overall, you get the flexibility. So what are they doing? They're pricing essentially two things. The fact that these are going to be more accessible, which it's kind of weird. In the inverse, you think if it's more accessible, it'd be cheaper, but no. In this game, they're going to be more accessible, so they're more frequently available. So they're, and number two, they give you the flexibility of using it now on any character. So I kind of had three things, I suppose. So that you kind of get that immediate thing, and the time value, right? If you can use it now, they're going to put a heavier price on it. So I don't see them changing the pricing much. I don't know how well these are selling. I mean, I haven't bought any of them directly. I didn't buy any of the Separatist ones, the tank ones. I just got the ones from the episode passes. I'm assuming these are still going to do very well. Again, if you ignore the Lightspeed bundle's existence, they're still very reasonable if you just go based off the Kyrotech value. But again, there's no denying that these are definitely not as valuable as the Lightspeed bundles. You get multiple characters. Yeah, even the newer ones that are like $30, you're at least getting like 5, 10 characters, whatever it might be. A variety of them over up to Relic 3, 5s, whatever they might be. Whereas this is only going to be one character. But even so, if I never knew Lightspeed bundles existed and I was a newer player and I was someone that liked to spend $10, $15 once in a while, these are going to have tremendous value. So I totally see where we're coming from here. I don't think these have as much unified closer to unified hatred as like Datacrons did, for example. But I do miss it's plain and simple. I miss the old days of Lightspeed bundles. I miss the older days of Galaxies of Heroes, Grand Arena. You know, they kind of drift away, or Conquest. They kind of drift away from what made them special. We kind of get farther and farther out into the sunset. But you know, you guys let me know. Have you guys bought these Lightspeed bundle tokens? I'd see the value for especially new players coming to the game. The biggest problem of this game is the fact that it takes many years to build stuff up. They got to speed people up. I think if they would get, I think the biggest thing they could have done to make this a bit more digestible, give everybody for the first hit a free Kyber Lightspeed token instead of having to buy it. It would go down a little bit better, I would think. But you know, I would love, if we're going based off the relative value of the Lightspeed bundles, make these like $5 at most. But we know when you look at how much Kyrotech is for one character, they got us by the cajoles when they sell these for $15. So anyways, you guys let me know your thoughts. I don't really have much use for them. I can dismantle these. I have some Kyrotech, I suppose. But anyways, I digress. That's gonna be it for today. Happy Lightspeed bundling for all those looking for their Malgus. Maybe looking for Ben Solo. We all know Malgus is the big daddy ticket for all you guys. But anyways, leave that like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And I'll catch you later, because around here, no matter the time, the place, well, it's great to be in the Empire.
Oh, it's great to be